We're moving on to the next level of the conversation this morning on this auspicious occasion of Abia at 29. We have someone joining us this morning who will be speaking on human capital development and job creation in Abia State and the way forward.
We'll be speaking with the Chancellor of Gregory University, Uturu, Professor Gregory Ibe.
Hello, good morning to you, Professor.
Good morning,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Michael, and
I'm Chinwe. So thank you, sir, for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for this wonderful program and opportunity.
Okay, sir. You just, I hope you just listened to the elder statesman talk about the creation of Abia State, how the journey started, and how we got the name that we currently have right now. So I want to ask you, at 29 years, do you think the dreams of the founding fathers of Abia State has been sustained? Do you think that what we have now is what the founding fathers had in mind when they sought the creation of Abia State?
Yeah, thank you very much. Could you permit me to wish my dear people of Abia State and the government for attending the age of 29. At least it happened in our very eyes. And may all Abians appreciate this day and thank God for our existence. And then I also wish to appreciate our founding fathers. If you don't want to appreciate them, then you don't know what it takes to create a state. We have grown to be participants in trying to have an equalized state for Southeast. And we have been on this matter. So I do appreciate all our founding fathers, both those living and those that are dead. May their soul rest in peace. They did well to cover their state. And your question, whether we have fared well at 29, if I'm correct?
Yeah, whether they have sustained the dreams of the founding fathers.
Yes, well, they have been sustained because the state has not gone to bankrupt. State is still living, and there are people at our various 17 local governments paying the price of having a state. This is what we mean by sustainability. The state has been moving from the last, what our elder said is not too happy with the development. But that is the journey of development in whichever way. So we keep on building on it until the wrongs are written right. And then we keep on achieving greatness. So I actually believe that in no distance time, we shall be having total full-blown development that will meet with our aspirations, and even our elders that founded the state will appreciate the state as well. So thank you.
Okay, sir. Despite our massive human capital in Abia State, I mean, it's not in doubt. Everybody knows what we got here. Abia State is still largely underdeveloped in terms of infrastructure. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, as I want to talk about Abia State and our people, I also wish to join all the studios, especially Flav and all our brothers and sisters, to wish those that died as a result of the pandemic. I want to really say, make the faithful departed, may their soul rest in peace. And I use this opportunity to thank all the frontline gentlemen and women who did us proud by standing those that prayed to get Abia where Abia is today, while we are now celebrating. Taking Abia to the point, like you said, we are not yet there infrastructurally. We need to look at what we call our per capita income. Why or if it is a reason that we are unable to achieve a lot of things. But so far as there's deficit, it has been said time over that we have serious deficits. And those deficits can only be achieved via availability of funds. Either you network to get the funds or you reach out to build the opportunities that could bring about these funds so that we can achieve and remove our deficits so far as the infrastructures are concerned. And it first starts with the person called man and woman of Abia. Thinking out of the box is becoming critical by the day. We cannot follow and keep on following an old pattern. That's why I brought about reform in the government of President Obasanjo. We worked on the reforms. So we need to reform the old patterns of doing things and then enable us to open up new doors so that we can conquer our deficiencies and then move on the path that will make our state a pride of place. God has given us number one place, so we need to honor that particular position.
Okay, Professor, it looks like infrastructure. Let's talk about the human capital development now. Uh,
So,
Employment level, it looks like it's been driven by the private sector. You're one of them because your university employs a large amount of Abians, to say. Is that a way to go, or do we have a way we can harness the massive uh, resources that we can get from the human capital development?
yeah, thank you very much. You know, I'm an expert on human capital development. So,
Yes.
when we talk about human capital development, let me digress a little. Like in the academic world, it's important that Abians, my brothers and sisters, our fathers, will understand when we talk about human capital. Let's look at the abilities and skills of all persons born in Abia and what they contribute. That is the resources at their disposal. If it is put together, that is what is called human capital. The abilities of our Abians is not government ability. Everybody in Abia, the resources that God has incurred in you, in our Paparu, in a Raga, anything in a mess, these are the resources that we have together. That's the human capital. Yes, everybody needs to have a skill. It is not skill to Ush or in Igbo that can make you develop a state. So now, what is the human capital development? It is just simple. The process of acquiring and increasing the number of Abians that can have access to skills, that can learn more jobs. Because in the whole entire world, the only group that leads 98% of what happens in every state is the small business enterprises. And can you imagine how endured Abians are? Yes, Abia has 44% of the population of Abia are youth, so it's about 1.3 million thereabouts. So, how many of these youths are faced with vices that are not there at giving them the development that they require as a human being? So, you can imagine that if you want to move Abia forward, it should not be resting on government. We need to put more emphasis on skills. We need to put and go back to what Abians are known for. In the old Imo state, the entire sphere of the ministry was occupied by Abia. And when we moved out of Imo to Abia, it created a big trouble for the government to have almost all the civil servants in Imo moved to Abia. So he gave them elephantiasis, if I must use this language, forgive my French. Uh, so the government have been carrying this thing on and on. So it must have a thin one in sort of their the large local government. So you see the skills of our civil servants and the education that God has endowed us with can also make us not just from leaping to the more development or more human capital development, but to do quite a lot on us. Experiences that we have, all the business attitude is resting on our back. All the attitude of business is resting in Abia. So which means we have experience to do a lot of things. Any single person you meet overseas that is succeeding tells you, I grew up in Abba.
Okay,
So
Prof.
Abba gives
Prof.
you experience.
Okay. We've listened to you, and you did say that Abia is one of the states that's receiving probably low revenue from the federation accounts and all the rest of them. But we also know that we have internally generated revenue, and there are some other states that receive even far less than what Abia State receives, and that such states appear to be doing better infrastructurally. So I want to ask you finally, sir, what would be the way forward to get out of this situation that Abia State has found itself in? I understand the fact that the state government is doing quite a bit, but what, from the expert point of view, what would be the way forward for Abia State?
Thank you. All Abians must endeavor to improve his or her knowledge. We must sharpen our skills, instill the right values to our children. I can do spirit. When we lack this I can do spirit, then it creates the vacuum that we are passing through and encourage the behavior necessary to actualize the potentials of Abia. A lot of us have deviated from the right behavior that could help Abia to move forward. So now let's look at what you just said a little while ago about revenue or no revenue. Every state and every group has its own challenge. Our challenge has to do with our inability now to do the things that the eye of the people will say that we're doing. And then they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So the government is doing the most they can, and they are faced with the challenges. If you are not with them, you might not see what's going on. But as a matter of fact, let's believe that the provision of learning and training and development opportunities and improving on individuals that are Abians, teams, and other corporate performances will help to develop Abia. All Abia the Madinina Naka. I always the Madinina Naka. At the point where all the SME makes a contribution everywhere, the madam, our mother that is selling in Arochuku, in Omonoji, in Okwa East, Okwa West, all of them are contributing to the GDP and the growth of our state.
All right.
And if they continue, we are going to get to somewhere. And the internal general revenue that you say, look, there must be a way to rethink, and there's a way to do the reform and transformation. I reformed the public service of the Federation, and I knew why the president gave me that assignment, and I did it, and there was a lean situation to help government to actualize more in terms of improving on their deliverables.
All right. We do appreciate your time. Thank you very much for speaking to us on this auspicious occasion of Abia at 29.
Thank you very much.